Peter Kropotkin, in his book entitled Mutual Aid, A Factor of Evolution, stated, "The mutual aid tendency in man is so remote an origin and is so deeply interwoven with all the past evolution of the human race that it has been maintained by mankind up to the present time, withstanding all vicissitudes of history." Good day and best wishes to you all. Dear respected audience, before I start with today's speech, let us first pray to the Almighty Lord. For because of His protection and compassion, we can all still go on with our daily activities in health and prosperity, even in these harsh times. And speaking of the harsh times that we are in, the pandemic we are witnessing unfold that has thrown humanity into what might well be chaos. The topic of discussion for today is related to it. But first, perhaps a short explanation. Gotong royong, translated into English as mutual aid, is rather self-explanatory. The definition of mutual aid is the cooperative as opposed to the competitive factors operating in the development of society. For our purposes, this includes the act of helping others that are in need. In other words, a mutual relationship of aid. And now, more than ever, during a time where people are getting laid off from their jobs at a moment's notice, and the financial state of most countries is in chaos, the act of mutual aid is more important now than ever. The act of mutual aid during a time like this doesn't only help and bring relief to those that are in need. For example, people that don't have a stable income, those that got laid off or fell below the poverty line, or perhaps even those that don't have a reliable or financially affordable way to seek medical help, but can also unite people because of a common cause, a deed that is objectively good. One that most, if not all people can get behind. That's not all. As stated in the quote at the start, the tendency of mutual aid in man is very deeply woven into our mind. And there's a reason behind that. From an evolutionary standpoint, it allows us as a species to survive longer. It's the protective instinct inside of us all. It's like the protective instinct that mothers of most, if not all, animals have when it comes to protecting their children. Meanwhile, from a humanitarian and psychological standpoint, helping other people, giving them happiness and relief, in turn, also gives us happiness and relief. It gives us a feeling of joy being able to help others. Now, how can this be applied during a pandemic? Well, there are several ways, ranging from once implemented into a small group of people, such as in a neighborhood, to spanning several countries or even continents. An example on the smaller side of things is that there are several neighborhoods in Indonesia where people take turns guarding the entrance to the neighborhood, making sure that people that go in and out wash their hands and wear proper protection, such as wearing a mask. An example in a community a bit bigger would be charity events that happen in cities around the world, helping the people in need that are in that city. An example of a mutual aid on a larger scale is the Indonesian government giving financial aid to small and struggling businesses around the country. And finally, there are acts of mutual aid that span regions and nations and unite groups of people under the common umbrella of doing good deeds. An example of this would be a charity campaign held just a few months ago called Hope from Home, which gathered influencers from around the globe to do their part in donating to a charity in order to bring relief to people that, approach the charity. There are many other events like these that are all there to help other people that are less fortunate. And that is what means to give mutual aid during the pandemic. Thank you for listening to my speech. My sincerest apologies for any mistakes and imperfections. Humans are not perfect after all. Hopefully this has been a great teaching experience. Good day and goodbye.